Maintaining a sourdough starter can feel like hard work. So if you don't plan on baking at least twice a week, then keeping your sourdough starter at room temperature wastes time, flour, and risks spoiling it. Using the fridge solves all of that. In this video I'll show you exactly how I store my starter in the fridge, what this actually does to it, and how I bring it back to strength before baking. This is Joe's kitchen, and I've gone from making my own starter to baking consistently at home for almost 2 years. This is how I manage my starter when I'm not baking often. Storing your starter in the fridge works for one main reason: cold temperatures slow fermentation. This means the starter uses its food much more slowly and doesn't need constant attention. Before I put my sourdough starter in the fridge, I'll normally feed it. This is at my normal feeding ratio, which is around 1 part starter to 1 part water to 1 part bread flour, which makes it easier to bring it back to strength later on. When my starter's in the fridge, I don't take it out and have a look to see how it's doing or need to feed it daily. I'll normally feed it once a week if I have no baking planned. This is again fed at a ratio of 1 to 1 to 1 before putting it back in the fridge. And if you were to keep a starter at room temperature, you'd have to feed it every single day. When your starter's in the fridge, it should show very little or no rising activity, although it might show a little bit of liquid on top or have a slight smell to it. This is normal, and if you have any liquid on the top, you can just pour that out, and if you miss a feed, just pick up where you left off. The starters are actually pretty resilient. In most cases, I'll take my starter out of the fridge at least 1 to 2 days before I plan on baking, and then let your starter come to room temperature before you follow your normal feeding process. If your starter's been in the fridge for quite a long time, you might have to give it a few feeds and discards to get it ready and strong enough for baking. And you'll know this by seeing a visible double in size or a decent increase in size. So if you're not baking often, using the fridge for your starter makes it easy to fit sourdough around a busy life without getting in the way. This will definitely save you time, flour, and it'll keep your starter healthy until you're ready to bake with it again. In my next video I'll show you how to dehydrate and store a sourdough starter so you never lose it, because I know from experience that things can go wrong.